Hey good people, hope you don't mind another one of these rambling videos. You get to see a little park called the Oval, which is a little opening at the top of the apex of 4 roads that go up a hill. And it's a nice little area where people let their dogs roam. It's got a little football pitch, some benches. Very pleasant. There's a lot of little places like this around where I live, so it's really good for a dog. So I got word from my shipper. My stuff's going to be here in exactly a week, so 1 more week to go. Delays over the ocean, they said, so it took slightly longer than predicted. I kind of expected that, to be honest. So I did get my stereo. For those audiophiles among you, I got a Denon, what was it, a DM21, pretty famous deck with the amplifier and CD player. It's got a DAC on it and Bluetooth for streaming, computer. And I'm going to buy a phonograph when my records arrive. I'm just waiting for the right deal. But yeah, and I got the Wharfdale Diamond 9.1s. I have a very small living room. I don't need anything more powerful than that. They sound great. They're very precise. I've got them up on stands with a bit of blue tack, tacking them down to lower the resonance on the floor, making them too boomy. Most of us here in England live in terraced houses, so you do have to be aware of your neighbours and the sound print you leave on the neighbourhood. So I found those to be the right kind of speakers, the right size. 100-watt amp drives them pretty well. I can add a woofer later if I want, but really it's enough for that room. I also got a optical cable to plug in my smart TV. I got a Hisense TV a couple of weeks ago. So I'm all set. And the question I have for you, maybe I'll get some responses on this, is streaming or physical media? Song, what do you call them? Song groups, playlists, sorry, couldn't think of the right word, or albums. Are you part of the new revolution in digital music, or you got a bit of the old-fashioned in you? Now, I bought the Denon because it has a single CD player. It doesn't do the 5 CD thing, because I don't see the point of that if you've got streaming available. If you want a playlist, just put on Spotify or some other digital. There he is. So yeah, I don't see the point of doing the 5 CD switch up thing. You can just put a playlist on, does the same thing. I got the single CD player in the Denon because I wanted to force me to go back to listening to full albums, full concepts as divined by groups and artists. I love the old album concept. I love listening to records and flipping the sides and reading the sleeve notes and checking out the gatefold artwork while I'm listening. It's what got me into that a long time ago. You'll hear that from every guy my age, or even younger, older definitely, about the tactile experience of records. But it's true, CDs as well. Also, the audio is better, higher quality, much more definition, much more detail in the recording as opposed to digital streaming music, even though the Denon has some sort of music enhancer built in for your streams to enhance the digital feed. I still think when you put a CD in or pop a record on, you get much higher quality audio. But I'm wondering what you think. What do you think of that scenario? Do you prefer physical media or do you go with the new idea of having the world's library at your fingertips and just listening to songs as you feel led? Now, the problem I've seen with the streaming, and my son is bad at this, is not only do you listen to just songs out of context, album context, but you also listen to partial songs. It's too easy to flick to the next one. So you get a few bars of music, doesn't match your mood, or you don't like it, swipe or whatever it is, click next, thumbs down, whatever it is on your platform, and you're on to the next one. It's almost too easy, too convenient, whereas when you're forced to listen to digital media, often you'll listen to a whole album, and if you don't like it the first time, often repeated listens will do something for you. With the whole disposable nature of stream playing, I'm not sure you get the same experience, unless you're the type of person that puts a stream on and just leaves it. There are those as well. And I know you can listen to albums on Spotify as well, so it's not necessarily just physical media. I do actually, when I'm stuck with streaming right now, I do actually look for an album stream and put it on. Occasionally I'll put on a playlist or radio station, but mostly I like to listen to albums or full pieces if it's classical or jazz. So what was the first music I put on to test my speakers? Well, the very first piece of music was John Coltrane's Love Supreme. There's something about that music, particularly the rhythm section with Elvin Jones. I forget the bassist now. Somebody will tell me in the comments. There's something about that music. It's so spiritual, it's so full, it's so lush. It's a genius work, probably one of my favorite Coltrane records. So that went on first. That was followed by, I may get the order wrong, but I played Dead Can Dance's Spleen and Ideal, which was an album that changed my life back in the 80s. Very cinematic, almost gothic, but with an international flavor. Those of you who've heard the Gladiator soundtrack know Lisa Gerrard's voice while her band is Dead Can Dance with Brendan Perry. So I played one of their albums. What else did I play? Let's see. I think Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygene to test the speaker for computer music. I think I played a couple of tracks off of 9 Inch Nails' Downward Spiral to test the bass and drum response. The Bach cello suites by Janos Starker is my favorite version because I'm a cellist and I wanted to hear solo cello on the system. Satie's Gymnopedes or Gymnopedes, which is solo piano. Piano sounds fantastic on this system, it really does. So that was great. What else did I play? The Brandenburg Concertos of Bach. There's something about the full orchestral experience, or that's a chamber orchestra obviously, if you get the traditional recordings, to test out the presence, the soundscape of your speakers. So those are some of the things I try. Of course, David Bowie's, which one did I play? It's the one with Kooks on it and Quicksand. Yeah, it's one of his earliest recordings. So I played a bit of the vintage 70s Bowie, which is probably my favorite period of him. Although I do like other periods as well. Yeah, so some classical, some jazz. Did I play any rock music on it? I did later, but not right away. I think I played some Horselips, an Irish, 70s Irish sort of prog / Irish traditional music, which is quite fun. If you're a fan of the Pogues, a 70s version of that with a little bit of Genesis or can't King Crimson or whatever thrown in. Maybe a bit of Thin Lizzy as well, if you like that. Yeah, oh, Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells. I always play that on new systems. So, of course, the famous theme they use for The Exorcist is the one everybody knows. But get 5 minutes into the recording and you hear just an amazing work by a genius who retired into the countryside at 19 with a multi-track recorder and recorded that amazing album with something like 110 different instruments. It really is a feat. Those of you who are fans of Mike Oldfield will know what I mean. And by Mike Oldfield, I mean the old stuff. I don't mean the new computer-generated stuff. It's not as good. His first 5-6 albums with probably Oma Dawn or In Her Just Rich, probably Oma Dawn being my favorite, although I like Incantations as well. So some classic Mike Oldfield. Yeah, I think I played some of the Bulgarian women's choir as well to hear a vocal arrangement, a couple of tracks of Bobby McFerrin. I just tried to think of different sort of music textures and genres to test out on these speakers, but that's what I've been doing. I listened to music for the last 2 days straight, and I'll probably go back to my house and listen to some more. It's nice to have hi-fi back. I've been listening to lo-fi Bluetooth speakers for months now, since I sold all my music gear, and it's just nice to have that full sound back in my life. It makes music fun. Alright folks, see you on the next one.